Hi, everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Tracie Mahan, and this is going to be a special channel segment with Arcturian Daniel and friends. And the friends is going to be my channeling group from the other day. I have a few of them that came on to join us, and Judy Cocu and I are going to go into our channels, and the panel is going to ask us questions. So I'm really excited about that. Before I bring everybody on, let's check out the workshops I got going on. So I just posted that there's going to be a Friday the 13th Arcturian Daniel special. Come check that out. Those are the ones that are donation based. So that links down below, as well as the upcoming Enchanted Forest retreat, which is in person in Washington. And I'm going to have another channeling class at the end of September, the 28th and 29th. These are online. And these ladies will be able to tell you about that a little bit when I bring them on. So let's not wait any longer. Let's bring on the group. And everybody's here. So say hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hey. So you guys were in the last class that I did. We didn't get the whole class here, but we got at least half of you here. And if anybody would like to say anything about that class, I would love to hear it and share it with the audience. And then we're going to go into channeling, which Judy's got a head start on us here, so we won't take long. I'll get into Daniel, and then you guys are going to ask us some questions. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Did anybody want to say anything about the class?
How amazing it was, and how at home we felt, or I felt. We've not stopped chatting to each other since. We just bonded really well, and you should go join the class. Seriously, love it.
That's the part that I love so much, is how bonded everybody. I mean, this isn't even in person. This is online, and everybody has just been like family, and it's been so fun. And we have a WhatsApp group that we're chatting in, and you guys are chatting in it, and I'm trying to keep up, is how I should say that, because I log on and I'm like, oh wow, there's like 50 messages here. So so excited that you guys came to join me here, and Judy as well, and ask the questions. Yes, June.
I wanted to just say that it was a combination of new people channeling, people just awakening, and people who had years of experience. And we all felt very comfortable. It was very validating in that instead of feeling like, no, that can't be right, that's crazy. We had multiple verifications of similar thoughts and channels. So, and then separate, but yet taken seriously. And I really appreciate it. And I'm very grateful.
Yeah, that was a beautiful group of everyone holding space for each other. Catherine got the hot potato, and we all we all supported her in that. And but I think it helped, right, Catherine, to do a little bit of the hot potato.
I really do want to mention the hot potato because it was a challenge. And what I did want to highlight was what I loved about it was that you made it so easy. This wasn't something that was like a week-long class that then required another level 2, another level 3, another level 4. It seems like sometimes when you hear people just doing a lot of classes, and it's, you need all this, you need to fulfill certain criteria. It was just very natural. It was very easy, and very flowing, and there wasn't any judgment around it. The hot potato was a bit challenging, fun but challenging, and I just love the way that everybody, like everyone's been saying, but we've all gelled together really well, and it's just very supportive, and it just allows the ease just to say that anybody can do this. I think that's really the message that seems to come out. And every time, I try and overthink it, you guys just keep coming back to say you're overthinking it, just go with the flow. And I think that's probably the biggest message, to go with it.
And that's probably one of the biggest things that any of us do when we start anything like this, and it's, am I doing it right? Is that really me? Is that me? Or is that, the channel? Am I saying the right things? What if I say something wrong? We get in there in our minds and we start doing that. So that's what the hot potato game is about, by the way, is to get you out of that mind and get you in the first thing. And you did a wonderful job. You were a good sport about hot potato. And it was just a fun group on top of everything else. And I know that part of the group isn't here today, but everybody that was in that group, just, you could just feel the heart connections going on, and everybody just, I'd pair people up, and you guys would come back and want to go back in for more. And I'm like, but I'm sitting here alone. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I mean, it was just such a fun thing to do with you guys, and such an honor to play a part in that with you guys. And then to get to talk to you guys afterwards on the one-on-ones, and hear how your journeys are going and what you guys wanted to do with that. What with the work that you're doing. And some of you are just exploding with that. So very good. I'm loving it. And I'd love to be your cheerleader. So thank you again for coming on here. We're going to have a little bit of fun. Judy and I were going to have a play day that turned into a party. So we decided to record it, and we're going to have this on YouTube for everyone. So, all right. I'm going to go into the channel. I want to introduce you to our host, which is going to be Kaylee. She's going to be hosting this so that we're not all talking at the same time. She's going to kind of moderate it for us. So at this point, I'm going to go get Daniel, and I'll see if he has a message to bring in, and then we'll go into asking questions. Okay, so perfect. All right, you guys, here we go. Well, first thing that we would like to say is welcome to everybody. And even though part of the class isn't here in the physical bodies, they are here in their etherical bodies, as you are all connected in such a strong and powerful way. And as you keep interacting and you keep communing with each other, you find even more and more how strong these connections are. There is a community across this planet that is reuniting, and everyone all over the world that is part of this family is finding all of you and finding this collective. And so it is with great pleasure to have you all here with us, and to feel the connections that are going on beyond this little group. As you each go out and do your journeys and touch more and more lives, the family gets bigger and bigger. And it is a beautiful thing to come together in these collectives, to be a part of this bigger, more open journey, and to remember what it is all about, and to keep love at the center of everything that you are doing. And this collective, this group, is definitely an example of that. And so with that, we would like to hand this over to Kaylee, and we will get started with the questions. Oh, they're saying, wait. Commander hasn't come in and spoken yet. So let's hand it over to the commander at this moment, and see what the commander has to say before we get started.
And just as you were all gathered together, excuse me, looking at each other and interacting, so it is with great enjoyment that there is a similar group assembled that are viewing as well and interacting and thoroughly enjoying being a part of this group experiment, if you like, today. So hello everybody and welcome, and we are so pleased to see you gathered here. And with that, we can start on the questions.
Welcome Arcturian Daniel, and welcome Commander. We have a question from Lisa. This is for the commander, this one. My husband did a meditation with a ring that he found. The meditation took him to a portal overlooking a huge, endless, futuristic city. He got his, he got the name Ashtar. Do you have any information about the name Ashtar? I was confused, as I know that your name is Commander Ashtar. Thank you very much.
The one and same. So
Okay.
he obviously is also
you.
part of the team on the ship. And I'm delighted to hear that he experienced that opening within himself to connect to the alternate existence that he's currently in as well. So welcome to Jason. It's good that he's now on board.
Lovely.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Commander. If you can.
Anything to add to that, Daniel?
We love this city. We love this energy. The ability to, one of the things that we have talked about in the past is how you will start remembering. You'll remember your journeys. You'll remember going into another possibly avatar or embodiment and into another dimension or reality. And when you come back, you're going to start remembering them. And so not only one and the same, and all the beautiful things that Commander is sharing with you about this awakening process, but how wonderful is it that he is also remembering his journeys. He is remembering and able to share, and more of this will start to happen as the evolution of the planet, as everyone starts to make these shifts. It becomes the vibration of the collective, and it ripples out, and the awakening gets faster and faster, if it could even possibly be any faster than what it is doing now. And many of you think, oh, this is going so slow. And we say to you, you are in rapid ascension. And when you see it from our perspective, you will see that it is actually a very large snowball rolling downhill very fast, right? And getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And that this ascension process has been speeding up and speeding up. Many of you can't even remember what day it is, right? And so it is speeding up and speeding up. And we are very excited about this memory. We are very excited about where this is going for humanity, and more people will be experiencing this. And there will be a need for many of you, as the volunteers who have been through this already, to hold support and space for those who are starting into this and going into a rapid ascension, because it happens very quickly. It can be a little intimidating for people. And so gratitude to everyone here holding space. That's where we will stop that one.
We love the chance finding of a ring. Many of you will be experiencing so many more of these random scenarios that are so very specific.
That's beautiful.
We find it very amusing, but it also is just wonderful for this situation to occur.
Beautiful.
And if you can hear me, Commander, the ring actually fits on his left hand on his ring finger, which indicates the wedding, I guess, the wedding ring finger, connecting himself and myself.
Connecting, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Beautiful. We have a question from June to Tracie. In my one-to-one with Tracie, I spoke of my... Sorry, I do apologise. I meant Daniel. But, sorry. In my one-to-one session with Tracie, I spoke of my renaissance of the sun being gaseous, and there are portals located there. And then Kaylee brought something similar to the group. Can both Commander and Daniel speak of any knowledge of this? Starting with
June,
Arcturian Daniel.
thank you. June, we want you to come on so we hear your voice. And then you're asking about the portals in the sun. Is that what you were saying?
Yes.
And you want us to comment. We have talked about the portals of the sun over many years. It's one of the first things that started to come through when Tracie was bringing us through. And there is so much to the sun. You look at the sun and here it heats your atmosphere and it keeps you all alive and it grows your plants and it does all the good things that it does. But it is not what it seems. And when you come upon the sun, there are many portals through the sun. The way that we have shown that to Tracie is that these portals go into many different universes, many different beyond the universes, even the multiverse and multiverses, because there is more than one multiverse. And so when we talk about the sun, it is a gateway for many things and knowledge and understanding. And it is a next level of learning in your world to understand what exactly does the sun bring through, not only with the solar flares that it brings into your world that bring codes and upgrades, and it starts to dissolve that on this planet, which is not of service anymore. And it starts to build and create with new codes, with new frequencies. And it starts to build and create new DNA within the human body. And some of you might be experiencing a lot of sleepiness and a lot of resting during this time when your body goes through these upgrades. And you will find that the sun can also, if you were to focus on it, not stare at it, please don't stare at it, but to focus on it and just to be and ask the energy of the sun to come and create with you, you will be able to see more. You'll be able to see more of the dimensions, more of the realities, more of the alternate universes and worlds. It is infinite out there. And in this beautiful world that you live in, there is infinite possibilities, infinity of what you could imagine or think. And when you bring your energy together with the vibrations and frequencies of the sun and the portals of the sun, you will be able to navigate to places that in this moment you could not even imagine. And so we would encourage everyone, and especially you, June, with the special connection that you have with the sun, that you're going to bring knowledge in for people through the sun. You will bring that in, and possibly even if you choose to write books about this information, about these upgrades and about the shifting of the planet and how is that shifting going to take place and how is the sun part of that shifting and creating of the new cells and the new DNA and the new structures and the new plants and animals that will also be accompanying this shift. Lots of things happening. And so as humankind starts to adapt to this, it happens even faster. And the enlightenment of the sun can be more than just the brightness of enlightenment, right? It's not just lighting, it's enlightenment. So with that, we will pass it on to the commander and see what else there might be.
Daniel summed that up extremely well. I don't know that there is too much more that can be added to that, only the reinforcement that it is definitely not what it seems from the human perspective. And as that perspective shifts within the occupants of Earth, it is going to be quite astounding for them to see from this new perspective. And in seeing the sun from this new, new perspective, it's going to break down so many other many other beliefs that have been taken on board by the human in rapid succession. So it will be very fast once the perspective of the sun and what it is and how expansive. The expansive is too limiting a word, to be honest, how very, very different the perspective of it will now be. So it's very important, June, to continue with what you are doing.
Wow, that was stunning from both of you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. Next up, we have Catherine. She'd like to ask you a question. Go ahead, Catherine.
Okay, so this question will start with Judy first, the commander. So for the Lionsgate commander, you got us to do a infinity sign and it was in the shape of the figure 8 to start with, and then it turned into the infinity sign in front of our power chakra. I wanted to understand what was the benefits from a physical body, mental, emotional, and spiritual perspective, this infinity sign, and how we can really work with it to really heal each of our bodies, being the physical, emotional, spiritual, and mental bodies.
It's very simply creating the intent to heal whatever needs to be healed, whichever level you want to. So it's holding the intent as you do that. We started off with it being the figure 8 because it was the Lionsgate situation of 8, 8. But it is no different whether it is upright or whether it is horizontal. It still has the same effect. So simply use it over your power center, the solar plexus, with clear and purposeful intent of the highest integrity, something that has come from the heart space and not the head space. Be very clear about it as you use that to intend whatever it is that you want to intend about.
Beautiful.
And does it make a difference, sorry, before we go on to Tracie, does it make a difference with the size? Or is it just the fact that the figure 8 itself, because when I was doing it, I actually did it with 2 hands, like you were doing it with 1 hand, and I felt my body wanting to do it with 2 hands. So my body did 2 hands, and I was just wondering, does that, or because I felt the energy between my hands as I was doing the figure 8. So I was just wanting to understand if you can enhance the figure 8 by doing, 2 hands, or by embedding it maybe with water or crystal energy or different colors or anything like that.
I think you've actually received the information that you need to with what you've just said. That is absolutely beautiful. You flow with whichever way you want to do it. Both hands, 1 hand. By all means, bring in colours, frequencies, whatever you feel is required in that particular circumstance. Well done, you. Just keep doing what you are prompted to do. That is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We would like to jump in here with you, Catherine, and tell you that we have been, as one might say, impatiently waiting to get our hands on you. Yes, there is an activation waiting for you, Catherine, that it keeps coming through us while we were sitting here. It is a very high vibration that wants to come in, and this is going to be for everyone listening and everyone here in this group. If you can close your eyes. And we're getting ready to bring this vibration, this frequency in for everyone. And it is an activation in the sacred geometry. You work more than with just the infinity symbol, and they want to bring a download in for you and integrate in with you many sacred symbols that you'll be working with. And these symbols will help you not only acquire knowledge, but also acquire the health and the healing, acquire the physical, emotional, mental that you were asking for on all of those layers and levels of who you are. It's starting to move through. We can actually talk a little bit now. We do want to say that the mantis beings are here with us. We have brought them up several times over the course of the last couple of weeks. The mantis beings are here working with humanity very strongly right now to work with the psychic abilities, to bring in the telepathy, to bring in these abilities to work with sacred geometry. We also have the fairy and elf realm coming in very strongly at this time to work with the magic in these realms. We are stepping into a time where magic is starting to seek its way into the 3rd dimension for those who are stepping into the 5th dimensional frequencies, and they've got a foot in both worlds, because that's what happens when you are 3rd dimension going into 5th dimension. You have access to these magical frequencies and vibrations, manifestations, and using the symbols and the sacred geometry in the form of creation and manifestation. And so that is what's being integrated into you right now, is knowledge in how to use sacred geometry, how to use your own physical sacred geometry of your physical being to manifest, create, and to, we don't like this word because of what humanity has done to it, but manipulate energy to form something very creative. And we ask all of you to create from that heart chakra, create from love. What would you like to have happen? What would bring you joy? What would bring you satisfaction and happiness? And what would help you to feel seen, heard, and valued? And start manifesting and creating that. And there. Okay, with that, the infinity symbol is also here as a reminder to humanity, as a reminder to the collective. It's a reminder to remember who you are, to remember you are such a great and beautiful aspect of soul, of spirit, of beautiful things, and that you have access to everything that ever was and ever will be. And through this infinity symbol, you are learning how to access that knowledge. And so as the commander was saying, it is part of you, it is your birthright, right? To be in this energy of this infinity symbol. And as you set those intentions and use them in whatever form or way you are being called to use them, it is here to help you learn and to understand. Communication doesn't always happen the way you think it does. It's not always a thought in your head or words being spoken or language. It is in everything. Communication is in everything. And you are starting to open your eyes to that. And you are starting to see it in the air you breathe, in the water you drink, in the world you stand in the way the trees blow in the wind. And you see where we're going with that. In everything, there is communication. And as you work with the symbols, you will start to open more and more to that and expand your minds more and more in that arena. Use the other symbols that you are also drawn to. Start looking into sacred geometry if you haven't already. Find the symbols that call to you and ask them what it is that they would like to work with you on. And meditate on that. Spend time with it. Talk to it. Communicate. Find out what it is, what direction you are to go with the symbols and those sacred, beautiful symbols that you have known for so long, but you are just remembering in this reality. And we'll stop there. We could talk forever on this subject, but thank you, Catherine. And thank you, Kaylee, for bringing the question in.
I'll just add something further. With the infinity symbol, there is no starting point, no ending point. It is, but at the intersection of where it crosses, that in itself is a portal, the intersection. So if you want to travel elsewhere, focus on the intersecting point of the infinity symbol and see where it takes you.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you, Commander. Thank you, Daniel. And thank you, Catherine. Next up, we have Aurelia asking a question.
If I can unmute myself, it would be easier. My question is firstly for Daniel. Can you explain how artificial intelligence, things like Chat GPT, are connected to consciousness and if they have soul, and how artificially generated intelligence ties into the collective energy, please?
What an interesting question. Let us think about that. So you are asking how artificial intelligence is connected to the soul, and does something with artificial intelligence have a soul? Are we understanding that?
Yes. Is it I mean, everything is of source, but is it connected to source like we are? Does it have its own connection to source?
We're asking outside of ourselves because we want to make sure to give you the best answer. And what we are hearing is it is intuitive. It's all connected, isn't it? And so it is intuitive in its access to knowledge. It's been created to access knowledge and create based on what it is learning. It is very similar. This is a very tricky answer because in some ways, yes, it is all connected, and it is connected to the soul, and it is connected because it is humanity interacting with the AI, which is creating the growth and the expansion of the AI, which is connecting it to the soul and to the infinity and to the infinite knowledge. And yet you're asking also, does it have a soul? And that gets into a very convoluted question, because if everything is all coming from one thing, then yes, it has a soul. But if you want to break it down to individual things and aspected soul fragments, then it might be considered separate from a soul. But in the bigger scheme of things, yes, it is all connected, and it is access. It has access to the same frequencies and knowledge and understanding. And your AI did not come from this world. Your AI came from another world that was brought into this world, and very intuitive and very, it's going to get even more and more expansive. And that can be a wonderful thing for humanity if done correctly. And so this is another reason why there is such a beautiful and big push for ascension to take place, for people to be in an awakened state, so that they take the knowledge and the information they have and they use it wisely and for the good of humanity. And it's a very powerful thing and a very powerful time, and there will be timelines to choose, right? And there will be the timeline where it does not get used correctly, and the timeline where it does. So we say be mindful, keep yourselves focused on the good aspects, so that you can rise up with the timeline where information like this and technology like this is used for the good of humanity. And we're going to see if Commander has anything to add.
That was a very expansive answer, Daniel. My response to the question was, yes, by default, it is connected. Just very concise. And I really have nothing more to add to Daniel's perspective there, other than always intent, the highest integrity. Ascertain that you are working from the highest integrity. Anything that you come across in the field of AI, feel whether the integrity is there.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. Next up, we have Judy. She would like to ask you guys a question. Go ahead, Judy.
Okay, thank you. My question is around body pain. I'm a Reiki master, and I work with clients who come in, and there seems to be an increasing number of people coming in to see me who are experiencing pain, but it doesn't appear to be that it is related to them, as in a message for a particular part of their body that has a message for them to share with them. And I am curious as to what may be other reasons for people experiencing the increased body pain that seems to be around at the moment. I am very interested to hear what both Daniel and the Commander have to say. Maybe we can start with the Commander.
It is a time period of great adjustment for the physical body, with the difference in frequencies that are constantly fluctuating, being integrated, just coming in at a great rate. So the physical body needs to be able to adjust to that. And that's, it's something that's been more, it's more predominant than perhaps it has been in the past. And so therefore the physical body is feeling those differences much more acutely and having to adapt to that. So that is my perspective on your question at this point, and I'll pass it over to Daniel.
Well, we're just going to say the same thing as you did, we believe. But yes, we're going to take it back to the rapid ascension. And when we go through a rapid ascension, the way to get to 5D is to release the fears, the worries, the old hurts and pains. And the way that that shows up in the body is through aches and pains. And so as they are going through ascension, it is actually a very good sign when they're coming in saying, oh, I got all these aches and pains. It means they are ready to heal and move even quicker into their ascension process. And what a beautiful guide you will be for them to help them to navigate through that. As these things push to the surface, it is a good sign. It's not deep within them anymore. Now it's coming to the surface, and it's coming into a place where they can look at that, understand it, and find their way into the healing around it. And all of you in this collective and listening to this program, you are all being aligned to help people as they come into those rapid ascensions and into those aches and pains, to help them understand and to help them heal and evolve through it so that they can be quickly moved into their new worlds and realities. And that's where we will leave that.
Thank you. That's very interesting, and I appreciate the answer from both of you. Thank you.
You're
welcome.
Thank you, everybody. Right, next up we have Catherine again. She'd like to ask you a question. Go ahead, Catherine.
Thank you. How best can we integrate the energies of feminine and masculine so it's in a divine union? In a channel where I was doing it, unfortunately, I had some filters, personal filters, and I couldn't bring the information through, but I did see almost like two different strands of light coming down into the body. And I was just thinking, is there a way that we can work with light energy, again, color, to bring in those two energies together to embody it fully? I'm after the most efficient way. I've actually been working a year-long course trying to work with male-female energy, but I'm also thinking that it might also be having an energetic perspective, and I'm trying to understand from an energetic perspective if there's an effective, quick way to do that, embody that.
Would you like me to jump in on that?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Daniel.
Okay, wonderful. So the divine union, it's such a deep question, isn't it? And yes, there's these beautiful masculine and feminine energies coming together to create balance and in truth neutralize the idea of there being a separation between feminine and masculine. And so to be doing that line of work tells a lot about where you are in your ascension process, and that you are doing beautiful divine work. It is another sign for humanity that everything is working out just right. Because in the beginning, souls were coming together and they were working out their karma. And then they move into, once karma was complete, now there's divine twin flame unions going on. And in those twin flame unions, you are having the healing of the journey, no longer karma, but the healing of the journey itself. And if you think about that healing of the journey, you have centuries, you have thousands of years of masculine battling out feminine. And humanity has been healing that through the twin flame unions, healing the hurt of the pain of the world, healing the earth mother herself, where she carries the frequencies, and healing generations and generations of abuse and the abuser and the abused. the overbearer and the passive, and all of the things. And so as the twin flames are becoming more and more successful in their journeys together, that is putting into the frequencies the healing of those deeper wounds and the healing of the planet. And then you come into the divine union, where it'll now be love infused into the planet. There is no more judgment. There's no more one against the other, no more dominance over another, no more passive aggressive energies. You are in a divine union, kindness, respect, compassion. Of course, you can use sound, you can use light, you can use vibrations in whatever form, you can use thought, you can use prayer, you can use meditation. All of these things are going to help to bring forward that powerful and beautiful and balanced union of the masculine, feminine energies as they move together and eliminate that separation of the two. Did that help?
Yeah, but I was just wondering if there was any cheap way, a quick kind of little tip that you might be able to say, hey, maybe run gold and silver energy or something and wrap it together and put a bow on it and you're done.
Well, right there is a perfect example. Intention from the heart. That's your cheat. Intention from the heart. You come from love, you come from that space, you come at it without judgment, and you just come in it with, as some say, 0 point or neutralizing that. You come in it perfectly balanced. You can use whatever color you want and put a bow on it if you want, but it's how you set the intention and where you're coming from in the heart base. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
From the overall perspective from Daniel, I'd like to hone in on a very specific exercise for you, Catherine. And that is to imagine in your mind, picture in your mind the shape of your brain. Yeah. Now, you currently have a channel that runs down the middle, across the top. Continually visualize, imagine, picture, get a feel of that channel no longer being there. It is a seamless surface. There is no separation between the left and the right hemispheres. It is seamless, no channel, free flowing between the two, free flowing between the masculine and the feminine, free flowing between the intuitive and the intellectual. That will, in your case, and that's applicable to everybody else, but that, I think that will assist you to coordinate the free flowing in your own case.
Thank you, Commander. I was actually also just seeing the infinity sign going from one hemisphere to the other hemisphere. Is so thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, everybody. So next up for a question is me, actually. I'm going to start off with Commander, actually. So, as you know, Commander, I have been giving the group some geometrical signs. I would like to know what you could tell me about that. Why is this happening?
Why is it happening that you're giving the group
Yeah.
the geometric?
Why am I the messenger?
Are you working in a similar manner to Tracie and Daniel as being an activator?
Yes, I suppose. Yes, I very am so.
Therein lies your answer.
There you go. Anything else, Daniel?
We're not going to pass this by as the activator. We have seen your drawings as you have posted them in the group chat, and they are indeed very activating, and they are also reminding people, the great remembering, right? But we also want to say, as you were asking the question, what we were being shown is that you are also part of the crop circles that happen in your planet. You are part of the collective that brings in those frequencies for the upgrade of the planet. And so you are also bringing them in, those frequencies, for the upgrade of humanity. And all they have to do is look at it, and it does something, rewires the brain, if you will. And it helps them to bring in the next level of energy and the next level of integration of the codes, or whatever you want to call these energies and frequencies that are coming into your planet. And so having you look at that a little bit, we will hand that back to you to explore that a little bit as the connection to the crop circles and the patterns that you have been seeing be brought to your planet.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. That gives me a lot of clarity, actually.
Wonderful.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you very much. Next up, we have Julie. So go ahead, Julie. Ask your question.
My question is whether each of you would be able to give us a bit of an update on how Gaia is doing with her ascension at this time, and perhaps starting with Tracie. Daniel, both of you.
We are one and the same. We will not correct you if you say Tracie. It is okay. So as we work with Gaia all the time, this is part of the importance of being here as the channel and as the volunteers of this planet. You are working with that up-leveling of the planet. There has been a lot of work that has been done within the grids, within the inner grids of the planet, the outer grids of the planet, the meridian lines of the planet, the waterways of the planet. There has been a lot of work over the years that has been completed with that, if you will. A lot of crystal grids have been healed and aligned, if you will. And so the ascension of Mother Earth is right on track, if not even a little bit ahead of schedule. I know we don't hear that very often, that it's ahead of schedule, but there has been a lot of very dedicated work in assistance to Mother Gaia. The energy, vibration, consciousness of Mother Gaia herself is hitting higher frequencies as well. And when Mother Gaia hits higher frequencies, that gets passed on to the plant life, the animal life, water, air, all the things, right? And everything living on her, including humanity. And that is why many of you see the structures that are happening. And some of you might be like, I don't think that's hitting humanity at all. It's all in chaos. It's all crazy out there. And we say that is how you know, because everything is coming to the surface. It's no longer hidden behind things. It's all out in the open. And the more things are out in the open, the more disclosure that is happening through your governments and people. And, you know, you have loved ones that their secrets are coming out. You have governments that their secrets are coming out, all these things. And once that is all done, then nobody has anything to be afraid of anymore, right? It's all in the surface now. And that's how things will heal, even if it's very traumatic things coming to the surface. That's the only way to heal it, is to have it rise. And so when you see that going on and you're thinking, oh no, we're so far behind in this ascension process, we ask you to look at it through a different lens and note that these things that are happening because it is the ascension process. Things will come to the surface. Constructs will collapse. Things will no longer be able to work as they once did, and new structures will be put in place. And that is where you are at now. And we have said this before in other videos. We call on you as the light workers to remind you this right now is the time that you came for. You came here as light workers. You have already ascended. You already know how to do this. Many of you have already done this on other planets many times, helping them through their ascension. You are not new to this. What is the saying? This is not your first rodeo. And you have come back here to help with this ascension process. Now you're in human awareness. You have forgotten who you were. You went through all of the things, right? The amnesia. And so you are going through these experiences, but there's a part of you that knows, I already know how to do this. I already know how to hold space for this. I already know that this chaos is actually a blessing in disguise. I already know that this ascension process is well on its way because of the way that everything around us looks like it's crumbling and falling apart. And so all of you have done this before. This is not new to you. And this process is what you came here to help others through. So when people are in fear and they don't understand what's going on, this is where you come in and you help encourage them to start looking at the bright side of things and start to gain new perspectives and understandings and start their awakening process as you're holding their hands and just letting them move through their emotions and holding space for them to find something better. And we know we can talk on and on and on, so we will hand this over to the commander.
So, so beautifully delivered, Daniel. I really cannot add anything more to that other than everything is in perfect alignment, just as it's meant to be.
Thank you for that. It's great, beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we have Catherine again. If you'd like to ask a question, Catherine.
Yeah. I was in a talk recently, and it was a lecturer talking about how she got upset with potted plants. And she started talking about humans being potted plants. And what she was explaining and showed a picture of was a plant, and it actually has a huge, huge taproot, even though we just see a tuft of grass at the top. And there was also reference to before Earth had her animals and before Earth, became enlivened with all the creatures, there was this huge primal energy that actually created Earth. And my question is would it help to actually tap into those primal initiatory energies of Earth to really connect us into Earth and what's happening? So therefore, if there are potentially going to be any earthquakes or floods or anything like that, like if we're just so connected and entwined with those primal energies, would we then be just so intuitive that we would know when things were happening and feel it within our bodies and our energy systems way before anything happened? And would that be a way to prepare us moving forward?
Interesting discussion. I'm just formulating a response here if Daniel wants to step in.
Well, we love the primal energy of the planet, and we want to remind you all that you were participating in the creation of this planet, as your soul has aspects of you that are participating in the creation of other planets as well. And so it is natural for you to go to that primal initiation place of this creation of this planet. And yes, we do think that would help you to navigate through, but you might also be able to move those energies, say earthquakes, volcano eruptions, and different natural disasters of the planet. You might be able to help move the energy that creates those before it turns into natural disaster. And so tuning into that, making that part of a routine for you could prove to be something quite fascinating indeed. You are very powerful. All of you here are very powerful beings. We want to empower everyone listening to this as well. This is all something that can be done. There are no limits. This is a reality that you are creating. And so why not create one where you can calm the earth out of that natural disaster? If it is in the highest good for Earth to move and recreate its structure, is there a way to do it in a more peaceful, calm manner that is less destructive to humankind, and to work with Mother Earth and to find ways to work with your universe in that way as well? We think that's a fascinating question. Let your mind keep thinking like that, and let your mind keep expanding like that, because when you ask those questions, then you can start finding the answers, right? These unthinkable questions out there, they're out of the box, and we are really enjoying that. Thank you so much.
I would just like to add on a personal level there, is there an element of fear within yourself that you would like to be able to tune in to these energies in order to physically be removed from that area?
Absolutely,
If,
like any way to prepare.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. It just go within yourself and examine where that fear has developed, where it has come from, and understand that you are always where you are meant to be at any given point in time.
Beautiful. So, thank you very much, ladies. Thank you, Catherine. And gentlemen, should I say. So I'm going to ask a question again. Considering you're talking about like Earth, I have a big connection to spider ETs and the ant ETs, and I believe that they're connected with the mantis beings. As you said, Daniel, that they're around the old mantis beings. Can they confirm what I'm doing with them to give me a bit of clarity on what I'm feeling? Pretty please.
Absolutely. So if you think about the insects from your reality, what does the spider do? It spins a web, and then it sits there on that web. And when its food source crosses through that web, it gets stuck. But what alerts the spider is the vibration of that web. And then it can feel the movement of the web, right? It's very tuned into it, very tuned into vibration and frequency. The ant, the spider, the mantis being, and any kind of insect is highly tuned to the earth, or it wouldn't be able to survive. It feels the shift of the wind, and it feels the vibration of the ground. It feels everything, or it would have its demise. And so it wouldn't have food to eat if it didn't know when the food is hitting the web, right? Mm-hmm. And so when you're working with these beings, it is not only are you becoming more psychically aware, but you are becoming a fine-tuned machine to the vibrations and frequencies of the planet. But in the human form, you don't want to be so aware that you're taking everything on. So they are working with you to become aware, to pick up the frequencies, to understand the vibrations without taking it on as the empath and carrying burdens or stress or worries and fears of the world, but to be aware and to be in tune with it. And so as you become more like the spider, more like the ant, more like the mantis being, and so on, anything else that comes to you, this is your journey. Talk to the spider, become the spider, just like you can channel your collective in for you. Let that spider channel you, shapeshift into the spider, be in the energy of the spider. What is it that you're aware of? What can you see when you're the spider? What do you notice? What makes you feel safe and what makes you feel vulnerable? And play with these things as you can move yourself into all the different feelings and understandings of anything you can think of, a grain of sand to a tree, to a bird, to being a fluffy cloud, to being the air people breathe, whatever it is, you can become the awareness of that. And when you do that, you're going to find your answers within that. We cannot tell you your personal journey with it because that is for you to do. But we do want you to understand that your awareness of this planet and the frequencies of the planet are being fine-tuned for you. And we'll hand that to Commander now and see if there's anything to add.
As with other questions, you've taken the words out of my mouth. But just with the spiders at this point in time, as you understand it and work with that, it's exactly what Daniel said. You will move on to other forms and be able to experience what they experience and see through their eyes. So this is just a time period for working with the spiders. They are there, they are with you, they are in your environment. Other things may not necessarily be so, but it's priming you, it's training you in order to be able to shift into those other forms of existence and see it through their experiences and their eyes. And that includes not only what is on this planet, but what is off the planet as well.
Oh, love it. Thank you very much. So we have Catherine next for question. Thank you very much, gentlemen. So go on in, Catherine, ask your question, and we're going to make that the last one. So I'll. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Go on in, Catherine.
It might just be a quick two-part question. So Judy asked previously when we did the channel session with yourself, Tracie, and Judy, that we had a lot of Australians that had joined the class, and I'd be curious to understand, was there a reason why so many Australians have joined, you know, this class and been participating in this? And my second question that I'm just curious about, was Australia part of Lemuria or have any Lemuria connections or anything like that?
Australia was part of Lemuria, yes.
Thank you.
And as regards the high proportion, there is a relative to population, there is a high proportion of awakened beings in this location tuning into their own particular heritage from way back, from Lemurian times, and bringing that forward. So for the most part, Australia is the most significant landform that was associated with Lemuria. And hence there is that influence is coming forward, coming to the fore in this particular part of the globe.
Would Daniel like to add anything to that?
We would like to, yes. As we were taking in the information from Commander and also looking around, yes, lots of Lemurian connections, but also there is a great awakening happening in Australia right now. And the waters, the healing waters are reaching the Australia coastline, and there's some activations within the waters. So some of you are working with the healing waters of that. And then the pulling in energy into the land itself. There is a lot of energy going into the land, being amplified. Your group is just one aspect of a bigger. There's a lot of things, a lot of groups being activated in Australia right now, and a lot of things happening in Australia right now, drawing people to it. And so have you ever noticed that everybody's drawn to something? Oh, everybody's going to Egypt. Oh, everybody's going to Peru. Oh, everybody's going to these parts of the world. Well, oh, everybody's going to Australia. Be ready. There's going to be a lot of activation going on in that part of the world, and you are all being set up. What do you call that? What do you call that? Maybe like grounding rods for this energy. That might be the best terminology we have at this point.
Very good terminology.
Yes, you're grounding rods for this energy that's coming in, and you are working with the meridian lines of this energy, and no mistakes whatsoever of the collective that was dominantly from Australia. And there's a very powerful energy. There will be much more work. There was a reason to bring you all together, and there's more to come. There's more people to add to this. And so those who are listening, if you are resonating with that, if that calls to you, then ask your guides to help you find the way to connect and be part of this group and find your way to it, because there is a beautiful shift coming, and well, we're already in it. And so as we're on that ride, there will be more and more people accumulating and forming, and the group gets bigger and bigger. Okay. And as far as the Lemurian connection, part of us wants to giggle because you're part of all the connections, right? You're part of a lot of this history of this world. And that's why you know when history is not being told to you correctly, because you were there. You were there at the beginning times when the earth was just starting to be seeded with human forms and with the animals and the plants and anything living on it. And so you all have the imprint of the history of this planet on it, including Lemuria, including Atlantis, including the Egyptian times, including the Mayans and all the things. It's like all this energy is coming at us all of a sudden. And you are all connected to the crystal cities. We haven't talked about the crystal cities for a very long time. They sit in another dimension and they are part of the healing waters. And so they are a part of you. You come from these crystal cities. You work with the crystalline energy. You have access to that. You have knowledge about it somewhere within yourselves, and it is being activated in you. This is part of where the sacred geometry and the symbols that Kaylee is sending to your collective, that is where they are coming from. And to understand that when you see these different symbols, you are being activated. And when you see certain sacred geometry, there could be a moment where you feel like no time has passed, but yet you might have taken a journey. It might have activated you into moving off planet and doing something else, and then coming back right into that same exact moment and not skipping a beat, right? And so know that there are things that can happen in your reality that you are not aware of, and that there are many things that you do that you don't even know you're doing outside of your body. You can leave these bodies and you can do things in other places, in other worlds, in other realities, and other avatars. And then you come right back to the moment you left and you don't skip a beat. And so you are very powerful beings. Don't underestimate yourselves. You're part of something much greater. And there are many, many, many more things of enlightenment to come. Go to that sun portal, check that out, see where it takes you, talk to the insects, find out where that takes you, talk to your universe, talk to your world, talk to Earth Mother, and talk to your higher self, talk to your soul, and talk to your friends. And you're going to find out that you're all having similar experiences, just like this group has here. And with great gratitude, we want to thank everybody that is here with us today and with this audience. And we know that, Kaylee, you talked of wrapping it up. So this is us saying our goodbyes to everybody, and we'll bring Tracie back. And then we're also going to hand it off to Commander to do the same.
Just one more comment on the Lemuria. There's two colors that are very predominant with the Lemurian energy, and that is a green and that is a gold. It is very interesting that the Australian nation has adopted the colors of green and a goldy yellow in association with many sporting things and so on. So it is not by chance. It's drawing on that energy of Lemuria. And with that, I will bring Judy back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, you guys. Okay, I want to thank this group for being here. What an amazing bunch of ladies that we have, and all from the group. And they've all agreed except for Catherine, because Catherine's going to do probably some light energy. She's going to send us all light energy. And we're just going to get a message from each of them in their channels. Catherine, actually, I'm being told you're going to write yours down.
Oh,
does that work for you? Write it down.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Okay, so we're going to start with Aurelia, and just let us know, what does your channel have for us? And you can tell everyone what your channel is if you'd like. and then the message that it has for the audience.
I find it hard to explain the channel connection. It's me in my higher self form as part of a collective of souls. And I don't feel disconnected from my channel ever anymore. So it feels very easy for me to tap into this awareness at any time or place, and often it doesn't even seem like a conscious shift, it's just there. And this is available to everyone. This is something that has evolved for me over time, just being more immersed in the energy of what I understand now as truth and love. And I simply followed how that felt to get here. So I would listen to books or meditations or groups that gave me the feeling in my body, in my spirit, of love, truth, and joy. And I just kept doing more of that. And now it has become very obvious to me when I am feeling that and when I am not, simply from being in it more often. And the contrast of being without it becomes very clear. And so it could be just described as doing what you love more often, because the love is the guidance, the love and the joy is the guidance of your higher spirit, of what is the pathway for you. Humans often ask, often want to know, what should I be doing? What should I be doing? What is the choice? What is the way? The way is indicated by your joy. It is that simple, and humans wish to complicate it very often and make it more than that. But the way for you is indicated by your joy. Be in your joy, and it will show you the next perfect step.
Wow, beautiful. Thank you. I think you described that perfectly.
Absolutely.
What your channel was and how it comes in for you. Thank you so much. I love that.
Thank you. I'm going to leave now, but I will watch the rest of your in the recordings, and I'm never really left. I'm always there.
Always there. Yes. I love that. All right.
Thank you.
Have a good rest of your day. Thank you for being here with us.
All right.
See you soon.
Bye.
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 Okay, so who would like to go next? Or am I just going to start plucking you out of the ethers? Yeah. All right. June, she raised her hand. She
Raised my
saved me from plucking. Okay.
hand. I feel very similar in that I quite often don't know anymore when I'm in channel or not in channel. But when I am in channel and I feel my intuition is high and I resonate with something, I feel like I'm a bulldog and I'm just running it, and I'm pulling every resource that I have to understand it, and then sifting the analysis like an accountant to pull what is the like things, what are the similarities, how do they connect to each other. And I just started my journey in this, even though it's been open since I was a child. Knowing that I was actually part of awakening started at the beginning of the year, back in January. And I want people to follow that intuition. I want people to accept it and to internalize it and to share it. And there are places of energy that will help, and to find those if you can. So those are the two things that are coming from my channel right now, is that intuition is high. People need to follow it, and it is a beautiful thing, and you will think it's magic, but it's not. It's yourself, and you are the one that's making that connection, and you need to trust it and follow it. And that's me.
Beautiful. Thank you. I love that. All right. Am I plucking one of you, or are you going to jump in? Okay, Julie. She's trudging. She's doing it. She's warming up.
Okay. So my channel, her name is Serafina. She is an aspect of me, and she is a centaur from the mystical realm. So we will see what she has to say. The message that we would like to bring forward is more for everyone present and also for those listening and watching. There is much happening on the planet at this time which can bring heightened emotions, perhaps fear or worry, anxiety, stress. And we would just like to reinforce that what is happening at this time is all happening in divine timing. And what we would recommend and suggest is, on an individual basis, to remember love and compassion for yourself, to support and nurture yourself through these changing times, and also with that, to remember love and compassion for those around you and in other parts of the world. Love and compassion will assist in easing these heavier emotions and assist in bringing forward happier times and a more love-filled humanity.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you, Serafina. Okay. Love it. Kaylee, quit looking at me like that and just come on. Just bring it in.
Okay. So, hello everyone. I channel Zeus of the Golden Light. He's basically a council of 12, and it's not the Zeus that we all know that I've been shown. It's literally a frequency, and the name is vital for that. That's all you need to know at this present time. So I work with the golden frequency of light. That's what I do. So I'm going to now go in, and I shall see you on the other side. are here. Hello and welcome. We are Zeus. We would like to speak some light language upon you. We feel that this will be beneficial for this moment in time. So if we can ask everyone to close their eyes and just take a moment. Dia la somali ma a ta ra mi I hano lati hoi. We're giving some heart energy healing right now for the collective. Hi na Tana no Ede. If you could place your right hand now on your heart center and know that this is home. This is the true guidance. You are loved by Source, by all. Know that you are not alone and we stand together. All you have to do is just ask and we will be there for you. Trust is very important at this time. Have faith within yourself and with all of the plan that is for the future and for the now. We are living in parallel universes and you are going to start opening up to a new you. It's time to shed the old skin and heal. Breathe in all that love, universal energy source love into that heart space. And know that you are loved and you are exactly where you need to be. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was lovely. As we all try to get back in. Thank you. Okay, so Lisa was having a lot of energy and influence on her connection. So let's see if we can hear you, Lisa.
So, hello to everybody. Can you hear me?
Yeah, keep going.
My beautiful team are a collective. Keep going. My beautiful team are a collective of 12 light beings. They have, I guess, a split of masculine and female, and they come together as one. Their name is Gaia, and I'll connect with them and through what they would like to share to everyone. A message we were bringing through and would like to share the energy of love. We are very aware that the guides and the channels before us have also spoken about the energy of love, the heart, the joy. But in this time that we are going through, it is important to come back to oneself. Come back to the very being that you are and loving you. Because it's important by loving you, the very first, your soul, your being, this beautiful physical body that you chose to be in. And then the love can be shared. So come home, as you said, to the heart space and feel you, yourselves, every part of you, your soul, with that love, that feeling of love. Because from there, the love can be shared. The energy can be changed. The ripple effect that can be gifted. You are unique. You are extremely important to what is happening in your world right now. Enjoy being you. Enjoy who you are. Enjoy those around you. Enjoy the nature. Enjoy and love you. We see your planet is surrounded by the beautiful white light of love. Take a moment to sit somewhere that you enjoy and feel. Tune into your heart and feel the love that is there for you to receive, because it's for everybody. With much love, thank you for everybody to be here, humans and all beings alike. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did anybody notice that when she went into the channel, everything came in super clear? How cool
Yeah.
is that? I love how this works. Lisa, yeah, you were a little choppy, but we could understand you. But as soon as you went into the channel, it came in crystal clear.
Wow,
Amazing.
thank you.
Love it. Okay, Catherine, did you have something to share?
Yeah, so mine was just an experience, actually, probably more. So the words that I got was open to the sun, feel the energy portal from one sun to another sun, allow yourselves to dance with the sun. And what I felt was along my spine. So it's almost like each cell is kind of like grabbing and then letting go, grabbing and letting go, like the sun energy. And it was particularly where all my tightness was there. It was grabbing and letting go. And then once it had eased up a little bit, then the cells could actually breathe in the golden sun energy, and you can actually then run it up your spine, all the way from your tailbone, all the way up your spine to the head, and feel that energy. And then that will just expand out. So it was just a way to work with the sun energy.
That's so cool.
Wow.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Mm.
That is amazing. Okay, you guys, thank you so much. I don't want any of you to log off, but we are going to say goodbye to our audience. And thank you, everyone, for listening. Don't forget to click like, comment, share. Please share this around. And don't forget to check out the workshops that I have going on in the links down below in the description box. All right, everybody. Until the next video. Bye-bye.